Thank y'all for tapping into Yocuzpodcast, man, off the late night. Off the late night. I'm turned up off the late night. It's snowing. Y'all ain't got nothing to do but roll them J's up. Yeah, roll them J's up. Cause y'all tune in to Cuz tonight, man. We lit. You feel me? We lit. I just want to say thank you, man, to all my guests, all my motherfuckers supporters, man, that been with Cuz and been rolling with Cuz. Thank you for my team. And thank God, man. Thank God, man, for having a good YouTube family, man, that support me. So thank y'all for tapping in. So make sure y'all like, subscribe, and drop a comment now this episode, because we definitely lit tonight. We talking about Uncle Trump tonight, baby. Uncle Trump said at the round table, baby. Talking about the oil and the gas, baby. Y'all know what it is, man. Thank y'all for tapping in. Roll them J's up, pour the drinks, because I don't want y'all to go nowhere. Because y'all tuned in tonight. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
By far, I would say. And we're doing tremendous things. Our country is doing very well. You saw the numbers that got released today, yesterday. Deficits cut way, way, way back at levels that nobody's ever seen before, setting records. And the numbers coming into our country are unprecedented. And we're doing really well. We had a situation 3 days ago with Venezuela, and we're getting along extremely well with the people of Venezuela, both the people and the people that are running Venezuela. I just want to thank our military. What they've done is incredible. That was considered unprecedented, to go into a military fort with thousands of soldiers and others, and to come in with 152 planes going every which way, and very rapid speeds, and helicopters, and to come out with no deaths and the loss of no equipment. It was pretty amazing. Nobody's seen anything like it. I was called by the leaders of numerous countries. I won't go into which ones, but the biggest and the strongest, and they said that was very impressive. They're all impressed. But today I'm delighted to welcome almost 24 of the biggest and most respected oil and gas executives in the world to the White House. It's an honor to be with them. We have many others that were not able to get in. I said if we had a ballroom, we'd have over 1,000 people. Everybody wanted. I never knew your industry was that big. I never knew you had that many people in your industry. But here we are. And if you, in fact, if you look, come to think of it, well, I got to look at this myself. Wow. What a view. This is the door to the ballroom. Well, what did you have? Unusual time to look, but I figure we might as well do it. If the fake news would like to go back and take a look, you can, but you'll see a very big
The fake news,
foundation that's
though.
moving.
The
We're ahead
fake
of
news,
schedule on the
y'all.
ballroom and under budget. It's going to be, I don't think there'll be anything like it in the world, actually. I think it'll be the best. We went from, this is, as you know, our biggest room, which would seat 100 for dinner, maybe, if you're lucky, if you're nice and tight. And the ballroom will seat many, and it'll also take care of the inauguration, with bulletproof glass, drone-proof ceilings, and everything else, unfortunately, that today you need. So we're going to discuss how these great American companies can help rapidly rebuild Venezuela's dilapidated oil industry and bring millions of barrels of oil production to benefit the United States, the people of Venezuela, and the entire world. And yesterday, the number is 30 million barrels. I can't even, is that a correct number? 30 million barrels. You hear that, Peter? Of oil was given to us by Venezuela. That's a lot of oil. It's about $4 billion worth, and it's on its way to the United States right now.
Damn.
And we want to thank Venezuela for that. And we're working very well with them, obviously, or they wouldn't have been so generous. But they respect us again. They didn't respect us at all before. So that's money that goes to the United States. Some will go to Venezuela, and some will go to the oil companies, but not that, because that's already been extracted. So when you're not getting any of that, but when you start extracting, you'll get. But it's tremendous reserves, among the biggest in the world. Some people say it is the biggest in the world. And we're going to be working with Venezuela. We're going to be making the decision as to which oil companies are going to go in, that we're going to allow to go in. Going to cut a deal with the companies. We'll probably do that today or very shortly thereafter with Chris and Doug. And we're dealing with the country, so we're empowered to make that deal. And you'll have total safety, total security. One of the reasons you couldn't go in is you had no guarantees, you had no security, but now you have total security. It's a whole different Venezuela, and Venezuela is going to be very successful.
He the one that took over Venezuela, y'all.
The United States are going to be big beneficiaries.
He the one that took it over.
We're going to be extracting, numbers of, in terms of oil, like, few people have ever seen, actually. So you're dealing with us directly. You're not dealing with Venezuela at all. We don't want you to deal with Venezuela. Let me thank Vice President J.D. Vance, who's doing a fantastic job. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, likewise a fantastic job. I have good people. I like them better than my first group. But we had a great, despite that, we had a great first term. We had some great people there too, by the way. But we had a great first term. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country in the first term, but this is blowing it away. And you haven't seen anything yet. Everyone's been shocked by the numbers, 5.4% GDP. And that's despite the fact that we were badly hurt by the Democrat shutdown, of which they'd like to see if they could shut it down again. Secretary of the Interior, Doug Burgum, who's fantastic. Secretary of Energy, Chris Wright, recommended by Doug as being the greatest oil man anywhere in the world, because I wanted Doug for that job, energy, and Doug said, no, sir, there's a man named Chris Wright. I said, who the hell is Chris Wright? He said he's the most talented oil man anywhere in the world. I doubt you can get him, because typically oil men make a lot of money, and women. They make a lot of money, but Chris came. You took one of the greatest salary cuts probably in history.
He said, and women.
But he's a fantastic person, loves our country, and many other important members of this team. And I want to thank them for their efforts. As you know, last week, the United States Armed Forces performed one of the most spectacular military operations in American history, apprehending the outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro for his crimes against the United States, crimes for which he has now been indicted and is in federal court awaiting trial. And he killed many people, millions of people, actually, and allowed jails, prisons, mental institutions, insane asylums, drug dealers, drug addicts to pour into our country totally unchecked because of Sleepy Joe Biden's policy of open borders, the stupidest thing I've ever seen, getting them all out.
Hey, Mo.
The departure of Maduro makes it possible an incredible future for both nations, Venezuela and the United States, in which we will more closely integrate the economies of two major energy powers in the Western Hemisphere. Energy coming out of Venezuela was very small. One of the things the United States gets out of this will be even lower energy prices. We have people now getting gasoline for $1.99, $1.96, $1.95, $1.92 yesterday, somebody. And it used to be $3.50, $4, $5 a
Yeah,
gallon.
was gas is
Think
high
of that,
shit.
$1.99. Decades ago, the United States built Venezuela's oil industry at tremendous expense with American skill, technology, know-how, and dollars. But those assets were stolen from us, and we had presidents who did nothing about it. This president is much different than your other presidents. They did nothing
Mm.
about it. They stole it. Some of the people in this room were a little bit younger when that happened, but not that much younger. It wasn't that long ago. But they stole our assets like we were babies, and the United States did absolutely nothing about it. So now we're doing everything about it. Now we're doing 500% about it, but it's a long time after the act took place. So they stole from us, and it was taken by socialists and communists at the time, and Venezuela was going bad, really bad. And as much oil as they have, they're producing almost nothing, which is just a system. So we're really, if you look at it, we're taking back what was taken from us. They took our oil industry. We built that entire oil industry. Started a long time ago, but they took it, and they were very ungracious to this country. But now they're being very nice. American companies will have the opportunity to rebuild Venezuela's rotting
That nigga
energy
that went and took
infrastructure
over
and
that
eventually
motherfucker
increase oil
though, bro.
production to levels never,
That's crazy.
ever seen before. When you add Venezuela and the United States together, we have 55% of the oil in the world. The
Mm.
United States is number one. We have them drilling. Drill, baby, drill was my campaign. And Doug and Chris, I think we're setting records on drilling right now and taking oil without Venezuela.
This nigga
That's
said,
how we're
take it
getting the oil
all. Y'all heard
prices
that
down.
shit? He said, take it
The plan
all.
is for them to spend, meaning our giant oil companies will be spending at least $100 billion of their money, not the government's money. They don't need government money. But they need government protection and need government security that when they spend all this money, it's going to be there so they get their money back and make a very nice return. The plan is for them to spend at least $100 billion to rebuild the capacity and the infrastructure
Mm.
necessary. Venezuela has also agreed that the United States will immediately begin refining and selling up to 50 million barrels of Venezuelan crude oil, which will continue indefinitely. We're all set to do it. We have the refining capacity. It was actually based very much on the Venezuelan oil, which is a heavy oil, very good oil, great oil. It's fantastic for certain things like asphalt
People dying
roads,
over oil.
best there is in the world for asphalt roads and other things. All of the companies here today are going to be treasured partners in bringing the nation of Venezuela back to life, restoring its economy, and generating great wealth for their companies and for their people, and also great wealth for the American people, and tremendous wealth for the companies that are going in. The companies that are going in, and if you don't want to go in, just let me know, because I got 25 people that aren't here today that are willing to take your place.
Man.
So I just want to thank, these are people that I either know or I know of by reading lots of business magazines and journals and papers. And these are the greatest oil people anywhere in the world. Harold Hamm, I see, is here. Harold, you know, there's a story about Harold Hamm that he can look at a piece of land, put a straw into the land, and oil pours out. Is that true about you? Well, some
Damn.
of you guys have to invest
Damn.
hundreds of millions of dollars to find that oil, so we can't let that story be true. But they say Harold puts a straw into the land, and oil comes gushing out. So you're not a big R&D person, are you, huh?
Mm.
He's
He
called
said, huh?
instinct for oil. Now, he's got other problems, but we won't talk about those problems. But he's been a great supporter of mine for a long time, haven't you, Harold? So congratulations. But we have, and I think Harold would agree, we have the greatest oil men and women anywhere in the world sitting in this room right now.
Mm.
And we have a lot of people that will be back to see us sometime next week. We're going to have another meeting for another group. but we're going to do this very quickly. We can have this done almost
That's
immediately.
crazy.
So I'd like to thank you all for being here. I'd
That's
like to
crazy.
invite Vice President Vance to say a few words, followed by Secretaries Rubio, Bergam, and Wright. And then we'll have a few words from representatives that are here and to discuss their ideas, a couple of them. We have Chevron, which has been, where's Chevron? Where are you?
Far right.
No, I thought you'd have a better location. You were the only one that was there for all that. I used to call you and say, what the hell is going on with Venezuela? He stuck it out. I don't know if you made money or not, but you stuck it out. I got to give you a lot of credit for that. Mark Nelson, thank you very much. Exxon CEO Darren Woods. Darren, thank you very much. How's Exxon doing? Okay? They'll do a lot better now, won't they, huh? Exxon's been amazing. It's been an amazing company. And ConocoPhillips CEO Ryan Lance, thank you very much. So you guys could say something, and then we'll take some questions from the press. And if anybody else would like to speak, we'll have you speak. We have all the time in the world. This is a big subject. This is
This is a big
massive wealth,
subject.
and more importantly than massive wealth, it leads to lower taxes and a lot of jobs for Americans and for Venezuelans, but for Americans in this case. And I just, again, appreciate you all being here. And I'd like to ask JD to say a few words, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thanks to everybody for being
There
here.
you go.
As a
Jay-Z.
Marine Corps veteran for my entire lifetime,
American
presidents, and let's be
history,
honest, they were
America
Democrats
and the
and
world
Republicans,
played now that
would send the
America
American
had
military
turned.
to far-off places. They would get us involved in these endless quagmires. They would lose hundreds or thousands of American lives, and the American people would get nothing out of these misadventures. And now you have an American president who's empowered the American military to stop the flow of drugs into our country and to ensure that we, as opposed to our adversaries, control one of the great energy reserves that exist anywhere in the entire world. And he did it without losing a single American life in the process. It was an amazing operation. It's going to make our country richer. It's going to make our country more powerful. It's going to make our country safer. And it's going to lead to the decline, the further decline of drug overdose deaths in the United States of America. An amazing thing, and I'm happy to be here to talk about how we can make it an even bigger and better operation for the American people. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Marco?
Thank you, Mr. President. And I think this is a reminder that everything this president does, everything President Trump does is with the American people in mind. It was not in the national interest or national security of the United States and of our people to have in our own hemisphere a country, not just with vast energy reserves, but controlled by an indicted narco trafficker who flooded our country with illegal immigration, including drug gang members, openly cooperated with drug gangs, and by the way, stole the wealth of that country to fund a repressive regime and also benefit adversaries such as Iran. All of that is now changing. As part of this process, the first phase, of course, is the phase we're in now, which is the stabilization phase. We do not want to see destabilization in the country. We're working very cooperatively with the interim authorities there to provide a market for the sale of the wealth of Venezuela in such a way that benefits the people, both of the United States, but also the people of Venezuela. And as a reminder to everyone, the president announced this just 2 days ago. Every penny, everything they buy with the money that they're making from the oil now, Mr. President, will be bought from America. And that includes everything from equipment for the oil industry to food to medicine and everything in between.
So all this is over oil. All this over oil, y'all.
And that is to have a normal
all this is going through is this oil. It's over oil, y'all.
The benefit of our adversaries or the benefit of elements in that country and around the world that are against our interests, at the same time as a process of reconciliation has to happen internally among the different sectors of society and politics and the like. And finally, the third phase, which is the most important of the three, is when the country fully transitions into a normal country that we have strong economic and diplomatic and relations with, that is friendly towards the United States, that's not a foothold for our adversaries, that serves our interests, but also the interests of the people. It'll be a country that is wealthy, a country that is prosperous for the people, not for a handful of criminals, but also a country that is supportive of our interests in the region and throughout the world. And we thank you, Mr. President, and the team you've assembled that have brought us to this point. A lot of work remains, important work, but this is historic.
Okay. Thank you very much. Doug?
Well, Mr. President, I want to thank you for your leadership not just as president, but as commander-in-chief. The boldness, the execution, the breathtakingly precise work that you've delivered both in Iran back in June and here has changed the field for the whole world. And you always ran about the idea of peace and prosperity. And in Venezuela, as you know, this was a playground for every bad actor in the world. We had Russians, Iran, terror groups, all of them profiting from this criminal organization that was pretending to run the country. That makes America safer. You've secured the border, we're stopping the flow of drugs, and now with the normalization of relationships on an economic basis, it's going to mean tremendously for the prosperity of the American people. So I just want to say again, congratulations to you and to the entire leadership team. It's been an amazing, historic week on the scale of things that we haven't seen perhaps for 125 years in terms of the U.S. Exerting its influence over Latin America in a way that's going to make a change for generations. And on behalf of all the oil executives that are here today, Chris and I want to say thank you to all of you.
Because gas is high, Billy, you hear me?
That has put
gas
America
is
in the place
high.
where today we are the most energy dominant
Electric
country in the world.
didn't work.
That position is what's allowed us to take the action that we're taking.
Them Jones trash. That's why them Jones so cheap.
We were dependent on everybody
That's
else
why the
for
electric
energy.
car is so
You're
cheap.
a big part of the reason that
Them
we're able
Jones
to
cheap
move
as
the way we
shit.
are today, and we're grateful that you're here to be part of the solution going forward.
Thank you, Doug, and you are
Yes,
doing a
he is.
fantastic job, and we appreciate it. Everybody appreciates it. They know who's doing well. Chris Wright?
Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah,
Oh
what
my
we've
God,
seen in the
we
last
are
week is
doomed.
leadership matters and credibility matters. Venezuelan
your
oil has been
government,
sanctioned for many years, and the oil just flew.
Generation
With
saying
those
the
sanctions
comments
were not
up.
enforced.
You
That
already
oil
know,
just
bro.
floated out to trafficked by bad actors of the world. The resources weren't gone to a central place. The corruption and decline of Venezuela has been a crisis for the people of Venezuela. And as Secretary Rubio said, massive spillover effects in the United States, in crime, in drugs, in kidnappings, and in taking a huge resource base and making it not exploited, not developed. The whole world is a poorer, less opportunity-rich place because of that. When you have materials underground, they've been underground for 1 million years. That does not make them a resource. That does not make them valuable for your country, your people, or the world. They only become a resource with technology, with capital, with rule of law, and a system of governance that encourages the harvesting of those resources to make the better world. And we see here the dramatic contrast between the United States, which may have less oil underground than Venezuela. We have 20 times the production of Venezuela, 20 times the impact of human betterment, massively better quality of living here in the United States. That was at risk under the last administration. We've seen a lot of attacks on the energy that makes the world go round. President Trump's election has removed those risks, has embraced reality about how the world is energized.
Y'all tearing it up tonight.
And we are at record production of oil in the
Nah,
United
for
States.
real, this
record
some real
production in
shit.
natural
This
gas
is
in the United
this
States.
is going on
We've
in
seen
our
a
world right
meaningful
now.
decline in gasoline prices,
I'm glad
diesel
y'all up
prices,
with me.
travel prices because of jet fuel.
Thank y'all for tapping
And now
in.
President Trump is
Obey
taking
your
the
master. What
genius
the fuck
of a
God is
different
most
way to try to
highly
solve a
saying. This is not
25-year
going to work
festering
out
problem
because
in
men
Venezuela.
like to
That all the
rebel.
traditional things
True
have
facts.
not worked. But ordering both a tremendous military operation to remove the heads of a criminal organization masquerading as a government, and then to use the power of our military, not to fire bullets, but to stop the flow of Venezuelan oil to the world, immediately gave us leverage over the interim authorities in Venezuela and has allowed us to be in this position today where the actions of this government can massively improve Venezuela for the better. And the bigger impact is to massively improve the quality of life, affordability, safety, and security of the United States. Very proud to be here. And we'll turn it over to Mark Nelson, who's the vice chairman of Chevron. Chevron has been in Venezuela for over 100 years, continuously. Mike Wirth, the CEO, had a knee replacement recently. He's not here. Mark is a tremendous leader in our industry, and I'll turn it over to him.
Thank you, Secretary Wright. Again, I'll send Mike Wirth's regrets. He really wanted to be here, Mr. President.
Great guy.
On his behalf, I have 3 very quick thank yous and an assurance I'd like to provide you
Very
all.
quick thank you.
The first thank you, Mr. President, is to you. It's thank you for convening this gathering. It's thank you for your leadership, and thank you for continuing to keep American energy domination in the forefront. So thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
The second thank you actually is to the cabinet. So Secretary Rubio, Secretary Burgum,
Antonio,
Secretary
you better
Wright,
not.
your ability and commitment to continue to engage with the parties around the table to keep the world working is greatly appreciated. So thank you for that.
You're right, bro.
And the final
Don't
thank
believe
you
the
actually would
hype.
go to our
This
Venezuelan
shit real what's going on right
employees
now.
of Chevron. They have
Yes.
been working
Pray for us,
tirelessly
right?
to operate
For
safely,
real.
protect the environment in country. And their dedication and skill will help us in this next chapter. And finally, I'll close with the assurance. For more than a century, Chevron has been a part of Venezuela's past. We are certainly committed to its present, and we very much look forward as a proud American company to help it build a better future. And so, Mr. President, thank you for your leadership.
You really suffered there.
He
You
done already put a team together. He already
had
had this shit planned,
many of the
Mo.
people sitting at this table left
That's
because
crazy. This nigga
of
already put a
safety risk
team to
and
take
other
over the
risks,
whole.
But you stuck it out. I give
That
you
shit
credit for
crazy,
that.
Mo.
Sometimes it was hard. I remember 6 months ago I told you to stay, just stay. Things are going to happen. You'll be very happy. I didn't know they were going to happen this fast or this conclusively. One thing I think everyone has to know is that if we didn't do this, China or Russia would have done it. And if China or Russia were a next-door neighbor, because essentially this is not around the other parts of the world so far away where you fly in an airplane for 24 hours before you get there. This is sort of a next-door neighbor if you think about it. And I told China and I told Russia, we get along with you very well. We like you very much. We don't want you there.
What's
You're not
up?
going to be there.
My world isn't
And if we
coming
didn't do this,
down.
China would have been there and Russia would have been there.
Every
Maybe they
day we
both would have
don't
been there
have
together, but they're not going to be
human
there
sock
now.
puppies as a
One thing I
president
will
is a
tell
good
them,
one for
and I will
me.
tell you, that
These
we are
other
open for
countries won't
business.
stop trying to steal from us. At
China
least
can buy all the oil they
facts,
want from
bruh.
us there or in the United States.
Bill,
Russia can
the
get all the
Clinton
oil
Foundation
they
ain't
need from
gonna do
us, and they do
it
like
at
oil, even
all.
though they produce a lot of it. But China and Russia and everybody else is able to go, and we'll be open for business
LeBron
almost
proud of you,
immediately.
bruh.
I have a feeling the $100
Facts.
million will be
Hey,
spent
LeBron
very,
definitely
very
is.
$100 billion
You already
will be
know.
spent very, very rapidly by these very big,
Facts,
powerful,
John.
and rich companies, and I think they're going to be able to rebuild the infrastructure. And I hope it's going to be brand new as opposed to a rehab, because I know the tremendous difference between the new and the not so new in your industry. The new is much more beautiful, much better in every way, and actually much smaller. It's like everything else, gets smaller and stronger. It's a combination of smaller, better, and stronger. So I hope you're going to build all brand new stuff, rip out the old crap that's been there for so many years, and do it the right way. You're going to be there a long time if we make a deal. If we make a deal, you're going to be there a long time.
If we
don't
make a
you
deal, I
won't be there
told
at all.
y'all.
You know,
He's a
sort of interesting.
finesser.
But again, China and Russia would have been there if we didn't do this. And the other thing people ask about the second wave, I don't think it's going to be necessary. We have an armada, a giant armada like nobody's ever seen in that part of the world. And it's stationed off the coast. And we are getting along so well with the people that are involved and representing Venezuela that I don't think we're going to have any I don't think it's going to be necessary to do the second wave. We were planning on a second wave, but the first wave was so powerful and so good and so strong.
That took over the whole world,
frankly,
y'all.
the people in the country, they did the right thing. They were smart. They did the right thing. They didn't want to go through a second wave. But we've got a tremendous number of the most powerful ships in the world right there. I don't think we're going to have to use that. I'm happy to say that. I don't think we're going to have to use that at all. If I could ask Chevron, you did a great job. I want to thank you. And ExxonMobil, if you would say a few words, and then followed by Conoco, great companies, massive companies, great companies. Exxon, please.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. President. I appreciate the invitation and the opportunity, frankly, for the entire industry to show up and provide a perspective. frankly, we've been kind of unresponsive to the press regarding Venezuela. But I guess today's the opportunity to address the press directly with respect to a number of questions that have been asked of ExxonMobil. First and foremost, obviously, is the interest that we have in Venezuela. And I think, the way I would position that, I think one of the reasons why we see many of the industry players here is we're in a depletion business for a product that is in great demand and will be in demand for many, many, many decades to come. And as a depletion business, the
Them
biggest
niggas ready to
challenge
take
we
over the
have is
whole
finding
world, y'all.
resources. There's an opportunity in Venezuela with all the resources there. Is we don't have that challenge of finding. We have the challenge of developing those resources. So I think it's in the best interest of these companies and, frankly, society as a whole for the industry to be interested in understanding what the opportunity here represents. I'll just share a philosophy that ExxonMobil has when we enter countries, because we do business all around the world in a number of different regimes. We take a
They ready to
very
put all that
long-term
shit to the vote,
perspective.
to all the
investments
gas
that we
stations.
make span decades
They
and
ready.
decades, so we do not go into any opportunity with a short-term mindset. And there's a value proposition that we have to meet. It has to be a win-win-win
killing the
proposition.
lungs,
Obviously,
bruh.
it has to be a win for the company
No
and our shareholders
way.
to generate a return for the investments that we make. Has to be a win for the government. The resources are an important source of revenue that help support the people of the places that we do business. And it has to be a win for the people. We have to be wanted there and to be a good neighbor. And
Off
those
the
three
late
things
night.
ensure a stable,
Thank y'all for
long-term
tuning in with
platform
me.
for the
Off the
large
late
investments
night.
that we make for
Francis,
the long
what's
term.
up? America is the king.
With respect to
No, man.
Venezuela in particular, we have a very long history in Venezuela. In fact,
Oh,
we
man.
first got into Venezuela back in
What's up, y'all?
1940s. We've
Thank
had our
y'all for
assets
tuning in with me
seized
tonight,
there
man. We on
twice.
some real shit
And so
tonight.
you can imagine to re-enter a third time would require some pretty significant changes from what we've historically seen here and what is currently the state.
ExxonMobil is a
If we
beast.
look at the legal and commercial constructs and frameworks in place today in Venezuela,
Niggas about to take over
today
all
it's
the gas
uninvestable.
stations.
And so significant changes have
All
to
the
be made
gas
to
stations.
those
They about to take over
commercial
all the gas
frameworks,
stations,
the
y'all.
legal system. There has to be durable investment protections, and there has to be a change to the hydrocarbon laws in the
Old fields
country.
never sleep.
We're
Fact.
confident that with this
They don't
administration,
either.
President Trump working hand in hand with the Venezuelan government, that those changes can be put in place. And with respect to the Venezuelan government, that perspective we don't have a view on. We haven't talked to the Venezuelan government,
Boudica.
and obviously we have yet to assess the people's perspective with respect to ExxonMobil
Great
entering
job, bruh. Thank you,
the
bruh.
country. In the short term, there are things that can be done while these longer
Did you
term
subscribe
issues
to
are
the
being
channel,
worked.
bruh?
For us, we haven't been in the country
Make
for
sure
almost
y'all
20
subscribe
years.
to the YouTube
We
channel,
think it's
man. I come on
absolutely
7
critical
days
in
a
the
week,
short term
man.
that we get a technical
I
team
come
in
on every
place,
day, y'all.
to assess the current state of the industry and
Thank
the
y'all for
assets, to
tapping into
understand what is being
Yocuzpodcast,
involved,
man.
to help the people
Gas
of
in
Venezuela
Texas,
get production
$2.
back on the
That's
market.
good.
With the invitation to the Venezuelan government and with the
The real
appropriate
time.
security guarantees,
This
we are
real
ready
time.
to put a
Yes.
team on the ground there. We also have a integrated set of
Real
capabilities
cheese
from
is the top
production
3
to
food.
refining to trading,
Yes,
and I
it
think we can
is.
be of assistance to getting
The
the
people in
Venezuelan crude
Venezuela
to
have been
market and
dreaming about
realizing a
something
market
like
price to help
this happened
again
before.
with the
I don't
financial
know,
situation
bruh.
in
I
Venezuela.
don't know.
So those are my short-term perspective that I have. I'd say maybe close with a thank you, Mr. President, for the work that you've done to secure not only the national security, but the energy security of the region. And then thank you, Secretary Rubio, Secretary Wright, Secretary Burgum, for your leadership in this matter. Thank you.
Oh, no,
How
bruh.
long would it take you, Darren, as Exxon to, if we make a deal, how long would it take you to get in there and
Oh,
get
that's the
started?
man from Exxon.
Well, the first step, this technical team, as I talked with Secretary Wright
He already
earlier this
plugging in.
week,
You see
we
this shit?
started from the beginning
He already
to put the
plugging.
team
Listen,
together so
he
that
just went
if and when
and
it was
locked
needed, we could hit the
the
ground almost
president,
immediately
the
so we
wife
can
and
hit
her
the
husband
ground
up,
within the
and he
next
already
couple of
making
weeks.
plans already. He
Start the
got
assessment,
Exxon
and
in
then from
right
there,
now.
we need to understand
That's what we
Come
want.
on,
We
man.
want
That man
speed
is a
and
finesse.
quality.
I keep
That's
telling
what we
y'all
want.
that,
Thank you,
man.
Darren. And Conoco, Ryan?
Thank you, Mr. President. Appreciate the opportunity to be here too, and you've assembled a great team. And our congratulations as well for
Oh, for
removing
real?
one of the terrible people in the world and bringing them to justice. It was quite amazing. I think
Excuse me.
you've given hope to the people of Venezuela again, which I think is quite remarkable.
Yes,
We've been on the
bruh.
other end
He
of
is.
that despot
I
regime
ain't
a
gonna
long
lie about
time.
that.
our assets were expropriated. I had a
Trump
little bit
is
more
off the
hair when that
chain. I ain't
happened.
lying about that, y'all. Y'all
And,
definitely true about
you know,
that.
I think we're the largest non-sovereign credit holder in Venezuela today. So we're at a bit of different situation, but I think your big and bold idea to use energy commerce instead
Daryl
of
Wood, he
conflict
the president of
is something
Exxon.
that could
That's
make
him
a
right
real
there.
big difference in Venezuela. And our company certainly stands ready to help in that endeavor. Encourage you to continue to think
That's
bigger
him.
and
He was
even
just
bolder. And
talking.
we've had some discussions with your energy
He was just
team about
talking.
that as well, as we think about the other people that need to be in this room and in this discussion are the banks, and including probably the Exim Bank, as we think about how the debt needs to be restructured and the financing to deliver the billions of dollars that are required to restore their energy infrastructure.
Facts, bruh.
And I think as we think that big and bold, we need to be also thinking
Facts,
about even
bruh.
restructuring the entire
All this shit is a
Venezuelan
plan,
energy
man.
system,
All
including
this shit
PDVSA.
is all the
And I
plan,
think if we
bruh.
can do that and
That man know
think
everything he
bold,
doing.
there's an opportunity to be quick,
That's why he
fast,
building that
and
ballroom. He
restore
know
the quality
everything
of
he
what's
doing,
happened in
bruh.
Venezuela, or what's been lost in
Everything.
Venezuela over the course of the last 25 years. So thank you for this
Hey,
opportunity.
Well,
Doc,
thank you very
hey,
much,
Doc,
and you'll get a lot of your money
black
back. We're going
folks,
to
they
start with an
had
even
big
plate, though.
to
We're
replace
not
them.
going to
Yup,
look at what people lost in the past, because
yup.
that was their fault. That was a different president.
Always about oil.
You're gonna make a lot of money, but we're
Yes,
not
it
going to go
is,
back.
bruh.
And
Fact.
you left a lot of money behind, I guess, huh? What number?
12 billion.
How much?
Damn.
12 billion?
Well, it's a good write-off.
It's already been
12
written off.
billion. You hear that?
All right, thank you. You'll make it back one way or the other. You're all going to do very well. I think really very well. Marco just gave me a note. Go back to Chevron. They want to discuss
Yo,
something.
yo,
Go
what's
ahead.
up?
I'm going back to Chevron, Marco. Thank you, Marco. Go ahead.
Was there a question, Mr.
They
President?
would
Yes,
clean
go
up
ahead,
where the
Marco.
crime.
What are you saying here?
Mark,
big
if you
increase?
can
Right.
update us on operations in the ground and with the appropriate approvals, what you might be able to achieve in the next 12 to 18 months, give us a little view
Right
from the
on.
ground.
You bet.
Yup.
You bet. So today, Chevron has 3,000 employees in 4 different joint ventures in Venezuela
3,000
today. And
employees
over the
ready
past
right
5
now
to
to
7
work. He
years, they've
say,
taken production
good right
from
on.
about
Yes.
40,000 barrels
Come
a
on,
day
friends,
to
you already
240,000
know.
barrels a day.
That's
Essentially
the
getting
plan.
those facilities
All
up
this shit
to
is the
standards
plan.
that
You
would
know
be
that.
something that
What's
people in the room
sad,
would
you
be
believe
more
it's sad.
accustomed
All
to.
of it.
Given the work we've done with Secretary Wright and Secretary Burgum and even Secretary Bessent, I think we have a path forward here very shortly to be able to increase our liftings from those joint
All
ventures
of it, bro.
100%, essentially effective
All this shit
immediately.
crazy.
We are also able to increase our production within our own disciplined investment schemes by about 50% just in the next 18 to 24 months. And that's just leveraging what's on the ground. So to
Go roll
to
y'all
Secretary
J's
Lugo's
up, man.
comments about phase
We up
1,
all
this
night. It's
is
snowing
taking the
too.
momentum of
We up all
improvements we've
night.
already
Go
made
roll y'all J's
there
up, man.
locally and
Pull
building
y'all
on those and
drinks,
creating
man.
momentum for the
We up
people
all
of
night,
Venezuela.
YouTube family. Come on.
Do you think you have an advantage being there? It's, you've been there by the skin of your teeth. It's been tough for you to be there. But do you think you have an advantage over the other people in this room by the fact that you are there?
Yeah, I think
Make
there
sure
are,
y'all
Mr. President, I think
subscribe
there
to
would
the
be days where
YouTube
it didn't
channel
feel
too,
like an
man.
advantage, and there are days where
Turn
it does
me up,
feel like an
man.
advantage. But having people on the ground today
Thank
that care
y'all too.
desperately
Thank
about the
y'all
people of
too.
Venezuela and know how to operate the assets, they're
Thank
there
y'all
is a
for turning
definite
me up
advantage
tonight,
today.
Would you
man. We
say
lit.
the best locations are available, or would you say the best locations are already sort of worked, even though they're in very bad shape? The
Well,
best locations for finding oil, the best locations for oil.
There are more opportunities than not, Mr. President. With 300 billion barrels of reserves and
300
resources in the
billion.
country,
It's
there
not
are
just
lots of
about oil.
opportunities
It's
for many
about
companies.
money
Will
and
you be
power.
building
Fact.
new, or will
Our
you be
country
using
need
the
it
old
all. Keep
infrastructure
slamming
that
them
you
greedy
have?
China
Yeah, today
hands off our
it's a little bit of
shit.
a mix, but today it's
Knock all
mostly
make
us
face to the
taking
throwing
the
facts,
equipment of today, getting it to the standards that we are accomed to your comments about making it how it
Put
should
it
be
in the
today.
air. Yes,
Most of the
sir. You
investments
already
that
know,
we've
man.
been
We
making are
lit.
about getting it up
Man,
to our
go fire
standards.
them J's up.
Well, I think you're going to make an
Y'all already
investment, but
know,
you're going
man.
to
Go
get your
fire
money
them
back very
J's up,
quickly,
man.
and
We
that's
lit.
part of our thing. We're going to
We
have you
up
get
all
your money
night, man.
back
Fuck
fast,
that
and then
shit.
you'll
It's snowing.
give a
We
lot
up
to
all night.
Venezuela
We
and to
gonna
the
listen
United
to all
States
this
after that.
politics
Okay, so
and what's
you'll
going
be in
on
good
in
shape.
life right now,
Could
because
I
real
ask
shit
Harold
going
Hamm to
on in
say a
life.
few words? He's been a
We up,
friend
y'all.
of mine for a long time, very amazing man, actually, amazing energy
We
person.
up. We lit.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. It's good to
We
be here
lit.
with so many dignified people,
Dignified
in
people.
this
Y'all hear
effort
this shit?
particularly. And thank you for your effort, for what you've done here, taking this despot out of that area. And the world dealt with
Trump
him
hate
way
my
too long.
country for no
Certainly, our
reason.
industry knows that this is
Mm.
a real jewel
That's crazy,
that can
said.
be developed for the people, of Venezuela, and also benefit the world. And like Secretary Wright said, it has
Can I
not
get
been done.
my name
It's not
called
been
out?
done in the
Thomas
past.
in the house tonight.
And they
Thomas,
had a
thank you
good
for
chance
tapping
at
in.
it.
Thank you for
They
tapping in,
brought
Thomas.
someone in that totally took it
Shake me,
down, as
Bob.
everybody
Man,
knows
we lit,
here,
Thomas. You
and that was
already know.
Chavez. And we know what happened to him finally. But, that
Go
ruined
twist
the
up, man.
industry
Twist up.
in Venezuela. And
We
all of
lit
us know
tonight.
how that happened,
It's
ended
only
very well,
1:30.
very, very wrongly. So
He does
anyway,
hate
we're
some.
glad
He
to
hates
see
the seeds that came from
what's
there.
happened
Oh
here,
man,
and
now that's
look
crazy, bro.
forward
Francis,
for the
that's crazy.
opportunity for a lot of people in this room, but also for America and the country itself.
Are
Thank
you going to be involved in going in? Because, he's in North Dakota and he's in Oklahoma and some incredible
He does
places.
that.
It's a little bit different, but there's no doubt about you won't have to worry about the straw too much here. You can just go at it. Are you going to be one of the participants?
Well, certainly, I'm an oil
We
finder,
lit.
like you said. Barry Switzer, told that
Thank you,
story.
The
Francis.
coach.
And
We
he's
lit,
kind of
cuz. Thanks,
exaggerated a little bit.
cuz.
It doesn't come out quite that easily usually. But
We lit, cuz.
anyway, great story. I love it. And I love Barry.
Barry's
We
the one
lit.
that told me this.
Yeah, he's a champion, and in a lot of ways. So love that story. Certainly, it excites me as an explorationist. Everybody has that in their
But listen
blood,
to this,
and
YouTube
it
family.
is a very
They talking
exciting
numbers. They talking
country
numbers.
and a lot of
Believe me, they
resources.
talking
And so
numbers, man. I'm
it's got
not
its
playing.
challenges, and
They talking
the industry
numbers.
knows how to handle that. And like Darren said, you go into your eyes open and do the best you can with the team you got. So
Well, you're going to
thank
have
you.
something that they never had really here is tremendous security. You're going to be very secure, very safe, physically safe, in addition to financially safe. So it's good to see you, Harold. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Does anybody have anything to say before we get to the press?
What does Cuba have to do to avoid the same fate as Venezuela? What does Cuba have to
Well,
do?
Cuba's in bad shape. Cuba relied on Venezuela for oil and for money, and nobody really knows what's going to happen with Cuba. They're doing very poorly. They're really,
Billions up on billions.
third
Facts.
world all the way, and we have a lot of great Cuban Americans.
Them niggas talking
And I
numbers
would
right
say
now,
Marco
Francis.
fits
You
very
hear me? They
solidly
talking
into that
numbers, bro.
category, and I might ask you to say
Balls
a few
talk
words about it.
facts.
We were
Yes,
discussing
Cam.
it before. Cuba
Balls talk.
is a very
Yes.
different. They don't have energy. They don't have oil, but they would live off of the oil from Venezuela. And what they do have is very strong people and very powerful people militarily, and they would protect the people running Venezuela, and they would take in a lot of money from Venezuela. Now they don't have that. They won't be taking in any money. So, Marco, what do you think?
That nigga done
The
stopped
fundamental
them.
problem in
Oh
Cuba is
my
that it's run by
God.
incompetent people that don't know what an economy looks like, much less a functioning one. They've made a choice, and that is they would rather have political control over the people than they would to have an economy that functions. And they've gotten away with it for 60-something years because they've had donors, the Soviet Union, and now most recently Venezuela. But that's now gone. So the people in control in Cuba have a choice to make. They can either have a real country with a real economy where their people can prosper, or they can continue with their failing dictatorship that's going to lead to systemic and societal collapse. So it's a very stark and dramatic choice, and it's one we hope to make the right one. We don't have an interest in a destabilized Cuba.
That nigga got
but that would be
two
their fault,
weapons
because
beside
they refuse
him.
to allow the people of Cuba to have either economic or
Nigga
political
Trump
freedom
got
for that
two
matter.
weapons beside him, bro.
Holly, you have a lot of people in this country that want to go back to Cuba and help Cuba. A lot of people have left, they came in penniless, they didn't have anything, and they've become very rich people in our country, and they want to very much go back and help Cuba. So that's something that Cuba has that a lot of other places don't have. Peter?
President Trump, thank you. I do want to ask you about Minnesota, but first, just more on topic. President Zelensky said that he was watching with the rest of the
Love
world
for
as
real,
you
right?
made this order
Then he
to
sleep,
go and
huh? He
capture
said, man,
Nicolas
fuck that
Maduro. And he
shit.
said
He said,
That's
fuck
how it
that
works with
shit.
dictators,
You right,
then the United
cuz.
States
Francis, you
knows what
right.
to do next. Sounds like he wants you to go and capture Vladimir Putin. Would you ever order a mission to go and capture Vladimir Putin?
Well, I don't think it's going to be necessary. I
No,
think we're
for
going to
real.
have I've always had a great relationship with him. I'm very disappointed. I settled 8 wars. I thought this would be in the
Y'all gonna
middle of
roll
the
them
pack or
J's
maybe
up?
one of the easier
Fuck
ones.
you, Trump. You
And I
stupid,
don't know if you
ignorant,
know,
orange
Peter, the
cut.
last month they lost 31,000
Facts,
people, many of
cuz.
them Russian soldiers, and the
America
Russian
is
economy is doing
bitches,
poorly.
man. That's
I think we're going to
crazy.
end up getting it settled. I wish we could have done it quicker because a lot of people are dying, and mostly soldiers. You know, they get hit in Kiev and they get hit a little bit here and there, and people are dying there too. But largely, it's the soldier population. When you have 30,000, 31,000 soldiers dying in a period of a month,
Damn.
27,000 the month before, 26,000 the month before that.
Damn.
That's bad stuff. So, as you know, President Biden gave $350 billion to Ukraine to fight, and
Damn. Buzz,
we
what's
would
up,
never get
Buzz?
that back,
Give me
although I did
everything
make a rare
to
earth
turn
deal
the
to get
other
it back, so
cheek
we will
and
be
bend
getting
over
it
to
back,
you.
but shouldn't have
That's
done that.
crazy.
It was a bad thing to do.
That's
I
crazy,
will say
cuz.
that
Putting
right
gold balls
now,
on steel.
because I
That's
was able to get
crazy.
NATO to up GDP from 2% to 5%, NATO's got a lot of money, and they're paying for everything. We're not losing any money. We're making a lot of money, I guess, if you think of it, because we're selling them military equipment. They're probably giving it to Ukraine, but we're selling them to NATO military equipment. We're getting full price and all of that, but that's not a big deal to me. What is a big deal is stopping a
Damn.
war where 30,000 people are being killed every single month.
At
The Vice
all.
President yesterday suggested that Renee Good, who was killed by this ICE officer, was part of a broad left-wing network. What has your team told you
Yes.
about this broad left-wing network? Who is in charge
Yeah.
of it? Who's part of it? What's it called?
Well, I haven't seen the vice president's statement, but he's generally very
Huggy
accurate. I hate to
Beto,
say it.
bruh. That's
Look,
crazy, bruh.
I watched that yesterday, and there were a lot of different forms to it. But there was a woman screaming, "Shame, shame, shame, shame." She was a agitator, probably a paid agitator, but in my opinion, she was an agitator, a very high-level agitator, so professional. She wouldn't stop screaming. I said, "This isn't a normal situation. This is a professional troublemaker." Because you heard it and I had it. Now, I will say this. The news sort of turned her down, turned her off, because you're trying to watch. She was so loud and so crazy and just not normal. When somebody sees something like that, they don't go screaming and screaming and the same words. So I guess you could say professional, but I didn't think she did a very good job.
This is some
You
orange
have
shit.
agitators,
That's
and we will
crazy.
always
Nah,
be
for real,
protecting
bruh.
ICE, and we're always going to be
Let
protecting
me
our
be
Border
real,
Patrol and our
bruh.
law
Dude, you're
enforcement.
real.
Yeah.
Crazy.
In your conversations with these oil
Really
executives
think
today,
you
do
have
you
freedom?
provide any
Yes, you
security
do.
guarantees so that
Sometimes.
they can do their work safely in Venezuela? And separately,
Well, how's
Mr.
shit
President,
going on now?
They will have those
It's
guarantees.
trouble
yes.
now.
and
Not
separately,
Snoop, the
Mr. President,
organ,
I'm curious in terms
original.
of the future of Venezuela. Do you see Venezuela now led by Delcy Rodriguez
Yes.
as an ally of the U.S.? Is
Yes,
that the
all
way that you view that
Minnesota
country
Well,
right
right
now?
now they seem to be an
Was
ally, and I think
active
it'll continue to be an
or
ally. And we
active.
don't want to have
I
Russia
don't know,
there. We don't
bruh.
want to have China there. And by the way, we don't want Russia or China going to Greenland, which if we don't take Greenland, you're going to have Russia or China as your next door neighbor. That's not going to happen.
That's not gonna happen.
The white
Mr.
White
President,
top.
thank you. You just said that these companies would have security guarantees if they go in on the ground in Venezuela.
they will have.
And what is your plan there actually for these companies and those Americans who are going to be on the ground working for these companies?
Well, there are going to be Americans. I assume they're going to be using a lot of Americans, but they're going to be using a lot of people from Venezuela and other places, I would imagine. But I would think that mostly they'll be using Venezuelan workers. They have a lot of great workers. They have a very high unemployment rate, and they have workers that are very familiar with taking oil out of the ground. Yeah.
Take it all out the
How
ground.
long do you think the Ayatollah will be in power after what we've seen play out on the ground there? When is the U.S. going to get involved now that reports of protesters being killed on the ground?
So Iran's in big trouble. It looks to me that the people are
Yes, I'm
taking
free.
over certain
Reason
cities
why
that
I'm
nobody
here.
thought were really
He's
possible
spotted.
just a few weeks ago.
Fact.
We're watching the situation very carefully. I've made the statement very strongly that if they start killing
Sad
people like they
times
have
right
in the past,
now. It is
we will
sad.
get involved. We'll be
Yes,
hitting
it
them very
is.
hard where it hurts.
Super sad.
That doesn't mean boots on the ground, but it means hitting them
We
very,
in
very
war,
hard
y'all.
where it hurts. So we don't
We in
want that to
war.
happen. There have been cases like this
This
where
nigga gonna bring
President
war and
Obama totally
go high.
backed down.
Stay safe.
But
Smoke
this is
one
something
from me, peace.
pretty incredible that's
Thank you,
happening
big
in Iran.
homie.
It's an amazing thing to
I'm
watch.
staying out of
They've
trouble,
done a
big
bad
homie.
job. They've treated their people
I'm
very
chilling
badly,
with
and now
y'all
they're
tonight.
being paid back. So let's see what happens. We're watching it. We're watching it very closely.
We watching it very closely.
Go ahead, please. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Do you have any comments on reaction to the recent attacks by the Syrian government alignment groups against US-backed Kurdish forces in Aleppo, Syria, which killed dozens of civilians and displacing many families? Does your administration bring peace between the Kurds and the Syrian government?
I want to see peace. Yes, I do. The Kurds and the Syrian government, we get along with both, as you know
You
very
want
well.
to see peace and run
They
shit.
have been
That's what you
natural
want to
enemies
do.
over the years, but we get along both. And
It ain't even a year yet.
we want to see
Yo,
Syria succeed.
cuz, you are
And so
retarded.
far, I think they are succeeding, but this is just breaking out, and we want to see that stopped. Go ahead, please.
Colombia, Gustavo Petro, in a few weeks. Do you hope this meeting with Gustavo Petro marks a new chapter, a new beginning in the benefit of the
Yes, you
U.S. and
said
Colombia
what country?
relations?
What country?
Colombia, with the president of Colombia, Gustavo
Yes,
Petro, your
I had
meeting.
a very good talk with him yesterday, and he's been very hostile to us and to the nation and to me. Called me a dictator and lots of other things.
Everybody call you that.
Called Biden some terrible names, far worse than he called me. But he called yesterday through people, and he wants to meet, and that's fine with me. I've made up with people also, you know. So we're going to have a meeting with him. We had a very good conversation. The people of Colombia are incredible people. Marco would know that better than anybody because he's married to a woman from Colombia. And I don't mean Columbia University. That would be, I'm not sure. I think I like Columbia, the country, better, if you want to know the truth. The people, hold it. The people are great people. I look forward to meeting with them. We're going to meet in the very near future.
In the near future.
President of Venezuela here in the White House. Would you greet her to discuss the fate of the oil?
Yeah, well, I'm going to meet a lot of people, and we're going to meet, we meet a lot of people. When you end 8 wars, you get to know a lot of people.
Yes,
and,
the fuck you do.
I think it's very important. As an example, we have
I don't see
over
any
$18
blacks on
trillion
that table at
dollars,
all.
think of that, $18
Hey,
trillion
I was
coming into
gonna
our
say
country.
that
A lot
at
of that's
all.
coming
Ain't
in
no
from
black
foreign
people
countries
on there
like
around that
Saudi
table.
Arabia, and
No
Qatar,
black people.
UAE, and others.
Ain't no black people around
I
that
get to
table,
meet a
you
lot
two
of people,
family,
but
at
I will
all.
be meeting with various representatives of Venezuela probably pretty soon. We haven't set that up. But the relationship that we have with the people that are currently running Venezuela is very good. We also have a young lady that received the Nobel Peace Prize. She's going to come in and pay her regards to our country, really, to me. But, I'm a representative of the country, nothing else. And she's coming in sometime
That nigga
next
got
week,
the Trump pin on his jacket.
and,
Look,
we'll
the
see how
nigga
that
got
is.
the
But,
Trump pin on
we're
his
gonna
jacket,
we're
y'all. Look
dealing
at
with
that
the
shit.
people from Venezuela. We're dealing with them very well. I think they've been very smart in the way they've dealt with us, frankly, because that whole place could have been obliterated with one more strike, and we didn't want to do that.
Hey, please.
On Venezuela and your meeting with Machado next week,
Shout out
if she gives you her
Diane, man.
Nobel
We
Peace
love you.
Prize,
You
will that
already
change your
know.
view about
We
her
need
running
your
that country?
support. 3,000 people.
Well, I
are
have to speak
killed
to
by
her.
that.
I'm going to have to speak to her. She might be
All right,
involved in
please
some
pray
aspect
for her.
of it.
Yes.
I will have to speak to her. I
Pray
think it's
for
very
everybody,
nice
man.
that she wants to come in,
Everybody
and
need prayer, man.
that's
Pray
what
for
I understand
everybody,
the reason
man.
is because Norway
Right.
is very embarrassed by what took place. I mean, they're
It's
getting
not time to clean
decimated.
this
Look,
mess up. Yes,
whether
it is.
people like Trump or don't like
Yeah.
Trump, I settled 8 wars, big ones, some going on for 36 years, 32 years, 31 years, 28 years, 25 years, some just getting ready to start like India and Pakistan, where already 8 jets were shot out of the air. And I got it done in rapid order without nuclear weapons.
Hey, sis, what's
I
up?
can't think of anybody in history
What's
that
up,
should get the
sis?
Nobel Prize more than me. And I don't want to be bragging, but nobody else settled wars. Obama got the Nobel Prize. He had no idea why. He still has no idea. He walks around and he says, I got the
6'7".
Nobel Prize. Why did he get a Nobel Prize? He got it almost immediately upon attaining office, and he didn't do anything, and he was a bad president.
Damn.
So,
He said he was a bad
you should get
president.
the Nobel Prize for every war you stopped. These were major wars. These were wars that nobody thought could be stopped. President Putin called me and he said about 2 of the wars that he's been trying to stop them for 10 years. He wasn't able to do it. He couldn't believe it. So in theory, you should get the Nobel Prize for every war you stopped. Every one of them was major. But
Major.
I don't care about that. What I care about is saving lives. I've saved tens of millions of
Once it's
lives. You
time
know,
to
the
clean it up,
Prime Minister of
you see
Pakistan came
my
here,
view.
and he
Yes,
made a very
bro.
public statement.
Big facts on
He
that.
said that President Trump saved minimum 10 million lives having to do with Pakistan and India, and that was going to be raging. So,
You hear that?
But I'm honored that she's coming here. I look forward to meeting her, yes. Go ahead.
The state officials there have said that the FBI is not sharing evidence with them. Typically, they would conduct a joint investigation, as you know. Do you believe that the FBI should be sharing evidence with state officials in Minnesota?
Well, normally I would, but they're crooked officials. I mean, Minneapolis and Minnesota, what a beautiful place, but it's being destroyed. It's got an incompetent governor, fool. I mean, he's a stupid
Once it's
person.
time to clean it
And
up.
it looks like the number could be $19 billion stolen from a lot of people, but largely people from Somalia. They buy their vote.
These
they
niggas
vote in a
talk
group, they buy
billions
their
and
vote.
trillions, bruh.
They sell more
They
Mercedes-Benzes
talking
in
billions
that area
and
than almost. Can
trillions,
you imagine?
dog.
You come over with no money, and then shortly thereafter you're driving a Mercedes-Benz. The whole thing is ridiculous. So they're very corrupt people. It's a very corrupt state. I feel that I won Minnesota. I think I
Who
won
know,
a
cuz?
game day vote. And I didn't get credit for it. I did so well in that state. Every system. It's a incompetent governor, a very incompetent governor.
President.
And by the way, he's a very corrupt governor, too. Go ahead.
I have a question on Iran, but first, very quickly on Venezuela. How do you provide total security guarantees to these companies without putting U.S. boots on the ground?
Well, we're going to work with the Venezuelan leaders and people, and we're going to have a very safe group, and they're going to also bring over some security with them. You know, these are not babies. These are people that drill oil in some pretty rough places. I could say a couple of those places make Venezuela look like a picnic. These people around the table, these are tough people. They go into areas that you wouldn't want to go. They go into areas that if they invited me, I'd say, no thanks. I'll see you back in Palm Beach. No, this is a tough group of people. They know how to do it. But we are, in addition to that, we'll have very good security for them. We're going to make sure there's very, very good security. And I think the people of Venezuela are going to give you very good security.
Yes, he is.
You know, the people, now I'm not talking even leadership. The people of Venezuela are going wild over this. They named a street after President Trump. What do? You attack a country and they name a street? That's never happened before. Although I heard that's
I ain't know
also
that.
taking place in Iran. They named a street. The protesters. I just hope, just God bless them. I just hope the protesters in Iran are going to be safe, because that's a very dangerous place right now. And again, I tell the Iranian leaders,
you already know.
you better not
It's all
start
about
shooting,
money.
because we'll start shooting too.
This nigga said we'll start shooting too.
With your glasses, sir, go ahead,
President,
please.
but on the,
Hold it.
Two
Next to
questions
you.
for you.
Yes,
First on
glasses.
Venezuela.
The gentleman with the glasses.
All right, thank you, Mr. President.
With those very big glasses, actually.
Yeah.
Very big glasses. Look at this nigga.
Mr. President, I have two questions. What do you want the European Union to do in Ukraine? The European leaders seem pretty divided on Ukraine. And then, if you can reiterate this straight message that you have to the Iranian leader, to Khomeini, the message that you have.
You're talking about Iran.
Iran, yeah.
What
the
do
first
I
one
want
is on
Iran
Europe.
to do?
I'm sorry?
Where are you from?
Italy.
Oh, nice place.
Yeah.
A nice place.
So what are you asking about Iran for?
Well, if you can answer about Europe and what you think the Europeans should do on Ukraine, and then a message.
Well, look, Europe has been doing so much for Ukraine, but it hasn't been enough. And obviously that I would say that President Putin is not afraid of Europe. He's afraid of the United States of America, as led by me. There's no fear of Europe. You know, Europe's fallen behind, and Europe. And JD said it very strongly. I don't know. He took a lot of heat, but I didn't give him any heat. Europe is a different place. Europe is changing. Europe has got to get its act together. I love Europe. I guess I came from Europe essentially. I have my roots are in Europe, but Europe is a different place. They have to get their act together. Now they have a great NATO leader.
Nigga said
And
they
they've
got
gone
to
up
get
to
their
5%
act
from
together.
2%
Y'all hear this shit?
GDP. That's a big step. But they have to be very careful with their immigration policy, and they have to be because, you know, I will just say, to be nice, that there are certain places in Europe that are very important that are no longer recognizable. I'm being very nice. I'm being very diplomatic when I say that. They are not recognizable. And they have to be careful on energy because
They
they're
have to
putting
be
windmills all
careful
over
on
the place and
energy.
losing a fortune. They're destroying their country. They're just destroying the beautiful landscapes, the beautiful everything. They're doing. And by the way, in case you people don't know, I'm not much of a windmill person. I can proudly say, Doug, that we have not
Germany
approved
too, but
one
it's that.
windmill since I've been in
Yeah.
office, and we're going to keep it that way. My goal is to not let any windmill be built. They're losers. They lose money. They destroy your landscape. They kill your birds. They're all made in China. And all you have to do is, you know, just about all of the windmills are
What
made
that
in
mean,
China, the
bruh?
structures.
What
All
do
you have to do is say to
TDS
China,
stand
how
for,
many
bruh?
windmill areas do you have in China? So far, they're
I
not
don't know
able
what
to
that
find
stand
any.
for.
They use coal and they use oil and gas and some nuclear, not much, but they don't have windmills. They make them and sell them to suckers like Europe and suckers like the United States before. They are the worst form of energy, the most expensive form of energy, and in 8 years they're rotted out anyway. Go take a
Germany.
look at Palm Springs,
Germany, what's
California,
up?
and take a look at what that looks
Germany
like.
in
It
the
looks like
motherfucking
a
house.
junkyard of steel. So
My
we don't
YouTube
approve, and I
family,
told my
we lit
people,
tonight, man.
we will not approve windmills. Maybe we get forced to do something because some stupid
Gotta fire
person
them
in the
J's
Biden
back up, man.
administration
We
agreed to
lit.
do something years ago. We will not approve any windmills in this country.
You heard what he said?
Venezuela, is it ultimately more important to you to establish stability there or democracy there?
Well, you're talking about maybe the same thing. I mean, you're talking about stability or democracy. I don't know. To me, it's almost the same thing. We want stability, but we do want democracy. Ultimately, it'll be democracy. Peter?
I do have a policy question, President Trump, but I'm having a hard time seeing here. I see the American flag lapel pin. What is the other lapel?
Hey, yeah, did I just say something about
You know what
that?
that is?
I
That's
just
called a
said
happy
something
Trump.
about that pen. You see that shit?
And considering the fact that I'm never happy.
Y'all see that shit? I just
Never
said something about
satisfied.
that pen.
I will never be satisfied
That's
until we make
crazy.
America great again, but we're getting pretty close, I'll tell you what. This is called a happy Trump. Somebody gave it to me. I put it
A
in.
happy Trump. I told you, I knew that pen means something.
And, the policy question. How much money are you thinking of giving people in Greenland to get them on board with a possible
baby,
U.S.
I'm not talking about money for Greenland yet. I might talk about that.
I pay
But right
attention,
now,
cuz.
we are going to do something on Greenland, whether they like it or not, because if we don't do it, Russia or China will take over Greenland, and we're not going to have Russia or China as a neighbor. Okay? I would like to make a deal, you know, the easy way, but if we don't do it the easy way, we're going to do it the hard way.
Yes, you do, bro. You already know.
And I'm a man, and by the way, I'm a fan of Denmark too. I have to tell you, and you know they've been very nice to me. I'm a big fan, but you know the fact that they had a boat land there 500 years ago doesn't mean that they own the land. I'm sure we had lots of boats go there also.
Make sure y'all
But
subscribe
we
to the
need
YouTube
that
channel, man.
because
Turn
if you
me
take
up,
a look
man.
outside of Greenland right now, there are Russian
I'm with y'all
destroyers, there are
tonight.
Chinese destroyers and bigger. There are Russian submarines all over the place. We're not going to have Russia or China occupy Greenland, and that's what they're going to do if we don't. So we're going to be doing something with Greenland, either the nice way or the more difficult way. Please, go ahead.
You crazy, cuz.
Mr. President, why is it so important
Marco,
to
you
you
crazy.
to own it when you have a military presence there, which you could expand
Days,
to
what's up?
affect the security?
Because when we own it, we defend it. You don't defend leases the same way. You have to own it. And, you know, with a nation, Look at what happened with Obama with that
Listen to
horrible
him.
deal they made with Iran. It was a short-term deal. It was like a 9-year deal. Countries can't make 9-year deals or even 100-year deals. Countries have to have ownership. And you defend ownership, you don't defend leases. And we'll have to defend Greenland. If we don't do it, China or Russia will. Not going to happen. We are not going to have, and I like China, I like Russia, I love the people of China, I love the people of Russia. I get along very well with President Putin, but I'm very disappointed in him. I get along very well with President Xi. I'm going to go over to China in April, but I don't want them as a neighbor in Greenland. Not going to happen. And by the way, and NATO's got to understand that. I'm all for NATO. I saved NATO. If it weren't for me, you wouldn't have NATO right now.
Yes, he do.
But we're not going to
Yes, he
allow
do, cuz.
Russia or China to occupy Greenland, and that's what's going to happen if we don't.
Straight like that.
Go ahead.
Terrible, man.
Mr. President, one, can you respond to that? And two,
Yeah, it was an amazing report. The most amazing thing is government jobs are way down, and yet the unemployment or the employment numbers are very good. We've gotten rid of tremendous numbers of
For real, huh?
federal government jobs. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. And yet the employment numbers are very good. They're really getting better. But now we have all those people to work in the private
Big
sector
fact.
for a lot more money.
Definitely scared.
I think that's one of the very big things. The other thing is at 5.4%. And remember, this is after we had a shutdown. And that shutdown had an impact because the concept of the shutdown, even though it's before, people knew we were going to be shutting down. A lot of bad things happened. And by the way, on January 30th, you may have another shutdown. We'll see what happens. But I think
y'all
the
hear
numbers
this
came
shit?
were really amazing. Look, to think about 5.4%, nobody thought that. They thought it was going to be 2%. And you know
You
what
hear
it
this
is?
shit?
It's tariffs.
January
And
the
it's also
30th.
November
Y'all heard
5th.
that
We had a
shit?
great election, a great election. Our country was dead 1.5 years ago, and now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. And I hope you guys were impressed. 5.4%, and we haven't even really transitioned yet. There's no reason it can't be much, much higher than that. Yeah.
Straight like that. Straight like that, cuz.
first off, can you respond to the manufacturing
Let's
number?
give CNN a chance. You know, they've been fighting so hard to get back into the mainstream.
You hear this
You
shit?
posted some numbers actually on Truth Social last night. People saying you posted the job data early when you're not supposed to obviously share it till the next morning. Did you do that on purpose?
No, I don't know. If they posted them, I said post them whenever you get a chance. I don't know. They gave me some numbers. When people give me things, I post them. But the numbers are amazing. Yeah, please.
The numbers are amazing.
Administration plan to distribute the money from the Venezuela oil sales. Is it obviously you say it's going to go into these controlled accounts?
Yeah.
Would it go back to Venezuela in a
Yeah.
direct payment? Is it going through these goods? How do you plan to do that?
Well,
And
we
then I
want
have
to
a
make
second
sure
question.
that Venezuela can survive. You know, Venezuela needs money, and we're going to make sure that they get money, and we're going to get money, and the oil companies are going to make something for the work they do, and they're going to get back their money. We're devising a
told
formula, but it
y'all.
won't be so much of a formula. It's going to be what they need. We're
Look.
going to take care of what they need. There'll be
Look.
plenty left over. We're going to have
Look.
a lot of money left over.
Look.
And the money left over is
Look.
going to the United States of America,
Look.
and the oil companies are going to be very happy. Yeah, please.
Look. I told y'all, this is what he do, y'all.
Offer a backstop to these
That's
oil
crazy.
companies for like financial guarantees, some sort of backstop if the country did destabilize again?
That's a very interesting question. Using the word backstop, I haven't heard that word in a long time. That was at the Wharton School of Finance I last heard. That's a good term. We ought to use it more often. I hope I don't have to give a backstop. Look, these are very smart people. The smartest people are not only in oil and business. These are the biggest companies in the world sitting around this table. They know the risks. I mean, there are risks. We're going to help them out. We're going to make it real easy. They're going to be there for a long time. They're going to be there together for a long, long time. And they're going to be taking the oil, and they're going to be bringing oil prices down. They're going to make a lot of money. They're going to get their money back. They're going to be safe. The people of Venezuela are going to be big beneficiaries, and the United States of America is going to be a big beneficiary for what we've done.
You already know he is.
It's also very big for national security because, again, just like Greenland, we can't have China or Russia occupy Greenland. We can't have China or Russia occupy Venezuela. And if we didn't do what we did, China or Russia would have been in Venezuela. I think I can. Where's Mr. Chevron? So let me ask you, they would have been there if we didn't do this. Do you agree with that?
They certainly have a lot of economic interest in country. There's absolutely no argument about that.
They were trying to be there. I mean, you know, we had a Russia, I guess sort of I call it a semi-Russian ship yesterday that we took over, and Russia decided not to defend that ship against us. It's a big movement. The ship was loaded up with oil, and we took the oil, and it came out of that port. But Russia would be there or China would be there. And we want them to be there for a different reason. We want them. Do you people agree?
Not the White House.
In particular, China,
ass.
they need a lot of oil. Russia doesn't need so much, but Russia was there anyway. But I assume you agree that China would like to be doing a lot of business there by buying oil. And I want to just tell President Xi and President Putin, but more so in this case, President Xi, because they do need a lot of oil.
I don't
and
know.
We are open for business in the United States, and we are open for business in Venezuela,
At least he's
right?
straightforward with the intentions of Americans. I have no respect for government.
Go ahead, sure.
President,
You know,
what is your
I could take questions from these people all day long.
Right.
You know, they're sitting here, and generally they're very rich, very powerful,
Bad
but nobody
Mama
gives
Jama.
a damn about them. It's a sad thing. You have all that money, all that power.
Oh.
And look at all these crazy questions.
Oh.
We could do this all day long and they wouldn't be satisfied. We'll take a few more though. You have. Let me ask you more importantly. Do you have any questions from the biggest?
Yeah, sure.
Hold it.
That
Do you have any
nigga
questions for the biggest people on earth, the biggest business people, the
What?
biggest companies anywhere on earth? Do you have any questions for these people?
You hear him?
No, no.
Put him out there. Off the break. Don't ask me no more questions. Ask them.
To rebuilding
That's
the oil
crazy.
infrastructure in Venezuela. And for the executives in the room, what do you need from the administration in order to invest?
That's a good question. Do you want to go and answer that question?
Yeah,
Exxon, small company.
I'll refer you back to the statements I made before. There are a number of legal and commercial frameworks that would have to be established to even understand what kind of returns that we'd get on the investments. So I think all the investments and the
Biggest
opportunity
garage
sets, I think everyone sitting around this table would have the
No, for
opportunity
real.
and the know-how and the capability.
That
to make
nigga
the
Trump
investments.
said, don't ask me no more questions. Ask them the questions.
Protections from a financial standpoint. What do
You
the
hear
returns
me?
look like?
That's
What are
crazy,
the
Mo.
commercial arrangements, the legal framework.
He said, let them talk. I'm tired of
To make a
talking.
decision to understand what the return would be over the next several decades.
That's
that these
crazy.
investments would be made on.
Look at him. Yeah.
You know,
Somebody
can I
else
do this?
talk.
Because we have, again, the biggest people on the planet Earth around this table.
On the
Biggest
planet
companies in
Earth.
the world. I'd like to just ask him to introduce himself. We'll start from this end and go around to here. And if you have anything to quickly say, we can do that. But you want to just start right over here? These two guys, we'll leave them out because they're with us. Please.
Thank you, President Trump. John Addison at VTOL. We're here to ensure
He's
that
a leader.
you're going to be able to move
He a
all of this
leader.
oil all around the world at the best price possible so that the influence that you have over the Venezuelans will ensure that you get what you want.
Thank you.
Yes.
Good point.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Yes,
Sheffield,
bruh.
Formentera. My grandfather, Hugh Sheffield, was president of ARCO, Venezuela.
Right.
Thank you for what you did.
Go.
Do you like what we're doing?
Al, you
There's a lot of
crazy,
shale
Al?
there.
No, but for real. For
He would
real,
be very
Al.
happy looking down.
For
He'd
real.
be very proud of you right now, right?
Yes, sir.
For
Thank
real.
you.
That nigga run shit.
Mr. President, Luis Rodriguez, I'm probably the only Venezuelan American sitting on around this table. I want to personally thank you for the courage of your actions over the last couple of weeks. I think I speak, and I speak of Venezuela in general in saying there's optimism. You've brought optimism to the table, and if the conditions are met, the opportunity is absolutely immense.
I agree with that. That's true. Thank you. Well said, too. It's immense. This is a
Well
tremendous
said, too.
opportunity. Thank you.
Richard Holton from Trafigura. We're working with your administration, Mr. President, to bring that Venezuelan oil
to the United States. Our first vessel should
Niggas
load
about to
next week.
cake the fuck
job. Thank
up. Niggas billions.
I think
They
the
got billions
reason
of
that most
billions
of
of
us are
oil,
here
bro.
and
From
thinking about the
Venezuela.
future is because we trust you initially to set this program up.
That nigga don't
will
trust
work
him.
and guarantee
He lying. That's why he
that
said
this
that.
can
We
be
trust
done,
you. That
there's
nigga
a huge
lying. He don't
investment
trust
that needs to
Trump.
be done. We've all agreed on that. And certainly we need time to see that through. So thank you for what you've done.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Mr. President, I'm Lane Riggs, CEO of Valero Energy, and we're one of those companies that refineries in the U.S. are uniquely configured to run Venezuelan oil, and we're
You say we
more than happy
bad.
as this
What
opportunity
would it
expands
do?
for us
You
to
going
further
to
invest
get
in our
this money or
refineries
not?
to produce more of it.
Man,
And you're very
listen.
much set up for
They
the heavy
better,
oil.
hey,
Yes,
they
sir.
better go hard for it, cuz.
$21 billion in the American oil
Damn.
and gas industry. In Pennsylvania, in the Gulf of America, in Texas, and in Alaska with the discovery
Jad,
of
what's
Pikka
up?
that
Bands
is
of
going to
Thieves.
have the
Yep,
first
all
oil
of
this
them.
quarter, and is going to change, it's going to reverse the declining history of that great state of Alaska. We are in Venezuela, Mr. President, with our partners of ENI. We produce the gas that guarantees the stability of a half of the grid power in Venezuela. So we are committed with this stability, and on top of that, we are on the ground. We have people, we have facilities, we have technical capabilities, and I take your point, Mr. President. We are ready to invest more in Venezuela. Today,
Damn.
we are producing 45,000 barrels a day
Mm.
gross of oil, and we are ready to multiply by 3 this figure in coming 2-3 years,
Damn.
investing hard in the country, following your recommendations
Damn.
to allow us, of course, and in the framework, commercial and legal framework that could allow this growth. So thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Great job you've done. Thank you.
Mr. President, thank you for having me. Matt Sheehy, I'm with Tallgrass Energy. We are an infrastructure business, so
Damn.
whether it's oil, gas, CO2, we move that around. So most of my customers are sitting around the table and happy to lend our expertise to what's going on in Venezuela to support the people.
Damn.
And obviously infrastructure is going to be
That's
critical
crazy,
to
Mo.
see it repaired. Thank you.
Thank you.
God
Mr.
damn,
President, thank you. An
man.
honor to be here. Marianne Mannon, Marathon Petroleum.
Big
we are one of
moves,
the
bruh.
largest U.S. refiners. On behalf of the men and women of Marathon Petroleum and of our industry, thank you and the administration for what you're doing for U.S. energy independence. We have the ability and the capability of our assets to process Venezuelan crude, and the people of Marathon Petroleum stand ready to do so.
Do we need more refineries in our country?
In the U.S., probably
Yes.
not. We have sufficient capacity.
It's amazing. A lot of it was approved during my first term. We were getting you approvals that
Remember
nobody
that
could have
nigga?
gotten in
Yup.
Louisiana and other
Fact.
places. And
You
they
already
got
know,
built.
cuz.
Before that, it was a disaster. We didn't have the refineries. Now we do because of the first term. Please.
Darren Woods, ExxonMobil.
Whole table got money.
Okay, we'll go over here.
Thank you, Mr. President. Jeff Hildebrand, founder and chairman
Whole
of Hilcorp
table
Energy,
got
one of the
money.
brightest- one of the largest
That
private
nigga
energy
said
companies in
the
America.
richest people,
you
bruh.
or Harold?
The richest
We're
people.
close.
Huh?
We're close. Harold. Absolutely, Mr. Ham. But thank you for your great, tremendous leadership in protecting the interests in Western Hemisphere. The message that you have sent to China and our enemies to stay out of our backyard is absolutely fantastic. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
And finally, Hilcorp is fully committed and ready to go to rebuilding the infrastructure in Venezuela.
You'll go there? You'll be going?
Yes.
Good. That's good. You'll be very happy.
Thank you very much.
You be very happy.
Thank you, Mr. President. Jeff Miller, CEO of Halliburton Company. We are the largest American oilfield services company. We're the second largest in the world. Been in business over 100 years.
That's crazy.
Started operations in Venezuela in 1938. Long time in Venezuela. I personally lived there for 4 years
1938.
again.
Who
Raised
got
my
killed
kids
in
there, so quite
1938?
familiar
Martin
with
Luther King, I
Venezuela.
think so, right, y'all?
And just couldn't express
Martin Luther
gratitude
King.
more so for the opportunity
Martin
to
Luther King got
return to
killed in
Venezuela
1938, I think so.
the stability
Correct
that
me,
I know
you two,
that
fam.
this team and your team are able to
Oh, Sam,
deliver.
I'm right.
So I
When
think
did you
it's-
leave?
Huh?
When did you leave Venezuela?
As a company, we left under the sanctions in 2019. So we had intended to stay, and then when the sanctions went into place, we were required to leave. But very much interested in returning. Have 600 Venezuelans with Halliburton today, all around the world. look forward to putting them back to work.
Great job. Great
Thank
job.
you.
You'll be
Ready to
back.
put them back to work.
Please.
Mr. President, I'm Alex Cranberg. My company, Aspect Energy, is one of the leading American international wildcatters. We've found significant fields in central
Are
and
you a
south.
wildcatter?
I'm a wildcatter.
That's pretty cool. I tell you. I would have been a wildcatter too if I was in. And you've been successfully wildcatting.
We've found significant fields in Central and South America, in the Middle East, and in Europe. We're a leading
That's
oil
great.
producer in Hungary. But probably the most pertinent example is what a wildcatter does is take on risk and try to reduce it, and then other people come in and put more capital in later, so we're kind of kickstarters in the oil industry. We went into Kurdistan very early on, back when
Right.
people told us it wasn't safe and we shouldn't do it. We found a big field there, and it ultimately has got to be developed along with one of my
These
colleagues
niggas
here
about
be
to
one of the
be
big leading
rich
fields in
as
Kurdistan.
shit.
We think that Venezuela has a tremendous amount of
Nigga,
opportunity.
they about to be
If you
extra
look
rich,
at the
bruh.
investment required,
That nigga
people
just
are talking
pulled a
about hundreds of billions of
Powerball
dollars.
move,
Just
bro.
to
That
put that in
nigga took over a
perspective,
whole country,
that's 1 million
bro.
barrels a day for 15
What
years.
the
It's
fuck is
$220
going
billion
on, bro?
net cash flow.
That nigga about to be
So what we really
set,
need to do is
bro.
to be able to kickstart production and
God
then reinvest in
damn.
the confidence to reinvest. And what you're doing by putting the United States in control of the cash flow coming out of the country, it gives companies like ours the confidence to say we can kickstart this production and then reinvest and reinvest. In Hungary, we've invested $1 billion in changing the trajectory of Hungarian oil production. And we were only able to do that not because we could write a $1 billion check, we're a smaller company, but because we reinvest all the cash flow back into new production.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Mark
Good
Nelson,
job.
Mark Nelson with Chevron again.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm Claudio Scalzi, and ICO, Italy. We started my
He said, "Damn,
social
bro."
problem. We own about 4 billion barrels of reserves, so a huge amount in the
Niggas talking money.
in central Venezuela. We have
They talking money,
now
bro.
in the country 500 people, most Venezuelan. And we are ready
talking
to
money.
invest. Clearly, we are ready to invest. We thank you for the big efforts and the efficiency of your action. And
Talking like
we are
Nino
here.
Brown.
And,
Yes,
we are
he
here
is.
to work together.
Yes, he
with
is,
the US.
cuz.
We are also a big investor in the US. So
I know that.
we thank you again, and we are there. And we are also ready to join with American companies in our assets to develop and go faster with good investors and good know-how from the U.S. company.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You've done a great job. Thank you very much.
Mr. President Ross Perot, good to see you again. I'm chairman of Hillwood and HKN Energy. Been in the energy business 45 years, and we have been working with your team quite a bit. We have been in Kurdistan now for 19 years, along with Alex, and built a very good business. But now with your team, we're looking in Syria, we're now in Libya, and so we are very excited to look at Venezuela with you and your group, and look forward to continuing to build this great industry.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. President, thank you for having us here today. Wael Salwan from Shell. Of course, we have a huge presence here in the U.S. and the Gulf, as
Shell.
well as in Pennsylvania with the
He
petrochemical
from
facility,
Shell.
which I think
He
we
on
had the
Shell,
opportunity to
y'all.
host you at.
Yep, he on
as
Shell.
well as being one of the
What's that,
largest LNG
Vernus?
off-takers of American LNG. We have been in Venezuela for a very long time. We actually drilled in 1914 the first well that discovered oil in Venezuela, and on the back of which the entire energy industry
Venezuela
was
is where all that
established in
work at.
When
That's
we
where
left
all the
in
oil must
1970s
been
because
at,
of
bruh.
commercialization, we had 1 million barrels per day of production. But
That's
we
where
have
all the
kept
oil
boots
must
on the
came
ground in
from,
Venezuela
bruh.
all this time.
That's where
And we
all
now
the
have
oil
a few
at,
billion
man.
dollars worth of opportunities to invest in, subject to OFAC approval. So we are ready to go and looking forward to the investments in support of the Venezuelan people.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ben Marshall, the America's CEO for Vitol. Alongside Trafigura, we're very thankful to have worked with the government and the Venezuelans to be able to bring the crude oil to market at a market price as quickly as we can to help stabilize the country. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ryan Lance, ConocoPhillips. I'll defer to my colleagues.
Thank you, Mr. President. Olivier Lepoche, CEO of SLB, or formerly known as Schlumberger, the largest global oilfield services. We have been in Venezuela since 1930, and we
Damn.
still operate. We operate today on the ground with and
Why
support of
folks
Chevron.
think
We have
Trump don't
ability
know
to
the
scale.
common
We have
man? He is
1,100
about the
Venezuelan in the
most
company,
hood
2,000
hustle I
additional that
ever
are calling us
seen.
to go back to country and to go back to
Listen,
work.
Trump
We are
ain't
able to
paying
mobilize
attention to none of that shit.
in the last 18 months,
Trump,
2 rigs and
Trump
delivered
worrying about
50
them
wells with
billions.
success.
That's what
So
Trump
we are
worrying
here.
about.
We have knowledge of the
That's
subsurface
what
like
Trump
nobody else
worrying about,
has.
them
We have boots
billions.
on the ground, capacity on the ground,
Take
$700
him
million
to the
of
meat.
equipment value
Something.
on the ground in Venezuela, ready to mobilize for all of our partners, customers. So we are ready to scale fast, and we really want to thank the administration, Secretary Wright, Secretary Bergen, for the effort they are supporting and giving us to be successful on behalf of the Venezuelan oil and gas industry. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Well, check this out. They say the very best for last. And I don't have that sexy accent like this guy next to me here. Mr. President, my name's Bill Armstrong of Armstrong Oil and Gas. I'm a private independent guy. And in real estate, you were a wildcatter. So wear that motto proudly. But like you, I was my own guy. I don't have shareholders. I don't have private equity partners, but I've been drilling all over the place. In fact, I had the largest discovery in Alaska, biggest discovery in 50 years in our country. I now control 8 million acres adjacent to Venezuela, so I'm already heavily invested in the area. We share a 150-mile border with
Them the
Venezuela.
sons of the business property, or the grandsons of the business,
to
man.
Venezuela. It is in real estate terms, it is
You already know.
prime real estate.
Family passed that shit down.
About 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Company's been in business for years, man.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So I think what we're going to do is speak without the press to these gentlemen, see what kind of a deal we can make. We're going to get them involved. I'm going to ask Doug and Chris and some of the people that we have from the business standpoint representing our country to start talking about the confines of a deal. I have an idea what I want, what I think we should have. We have to get them to invest, and then we have to get their money back as quickly as we can, and then we can divvy it all up between Venezuela, the United States, and them. I think it's simple. I think
Oh no, cuz he probably did,
very,
cuz.
very little, very
You
small
know, Trump
percentage.
crazy,
But now
man.
that'll change, and it'll change very rapidly because these are the biggest people, and it'll change very rapidly. So if you don't mind, I'll ask the press to leave, and we will see what kind of a deal we're going to make with these geniuses, and I think you're going to come out very good. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Man, listen, thank y'all for tapping into Yocuzpodcast, man. Like I said, man, y'all the best, man, for tuning in with me tonight, man. I appreciate the love. Emmett saying that's to another man. Facts, listen, I appreciate the love for tuning in tonight, man. But y'all could definitely tune in 6 days a week on the Yocuzpodcast. And late night show is every other Saturday. Make sure y'all tune in, man. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the subscribers. So for all the new subscribers, you are now a YouTube family, a Yocuzpodcast family. Thank y'all for tapping in, man. I appreciate the love. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Gone.